'Twas the night before Nismas, snow covered the ground. The whole city was sleeping, with snoring the only sound. However, one child could not fall asleep. He kept his eyes closed and tossed and turned, but still he could not keep. From his bed he rose, to the window he looked out, and to his surprise, he heard the gnome shout. "Whoa!" he cried, as he leapt from plot to plot. "My feet are oh so warm! These rocket boots get so hot! I would probably have burns if it weren't for the lotion, made from wheat and coal, and a medium stam potion." He was getting closer. The child had quite the shock. He would have to rush to sleep. There wasn't much time, as told the clock. He ran back, pulling covers over him and throwing pillow to head, for he thought if he was found, he would be punished, even dead. With eyes closed, he heard a tap, tap, tap. Looking at the glass, he saw Nisvan holding his cap. "Good evening, my child. I see this hasn't gone as planned. You shouldn't still be here. Why aren't you at Slumberland?" The child wanted to explain, but he couldn't form a word. Instead, he began to tear up, and crying was all that was heard. Whoa, there's no need for that." He was now sat on a shelf. "You've got nothing to worry about. I'm not a scary elf." This made the child stop. Tears fell no more. He even seemed excited when the gnome's feet hit the floor. "I'm a bit behind schedule. I've got some plots left, about 3. Would it help you rest tonight if you help deliver presents with me?" The child nodded his head. He didn't know what to say. It wouldn't be long before the sun rose, and it would turn into day. "Now here we go. Don't worry. You'll come to no harm." The gnome gave a confident smile as the child squeezed his palm. When they got to the plot, Nisvan let himself in and revealed a loudly snoring rank 11 paladin. "Here, take my wand. It's really more of a stick. And create a present using magic. Don't worry, this isn't a trick." Closing his eyes and thinking, what would he want to get? The child waved the wand, opened his eyes, and gasped, "A brick pallet!" "My gosh!" the gnome exclaimed. "That's really quite inspired. If I had a job opening, you'd have it. You'd be hired." They left the room quietly, keeping on their toes, and they moved on to plot 2, the child and the nose. Now this place seemed untidy. It was quite the tip, and the building seemed unsafe, as if the builder had a trip. Once again, he closed his eyes and wondered, what would a man like this wish? Opening his eyes, he had created a bottomless barrel of drugfish. The gnome praised the child. "How did you know he was crazy? We need this amount of fish to make him not laid back and lazy." They moved on to the last plot. The night sure had been silly, but the child had not expected at the end he would see a small sleeping Willy. This would surely be difficult. It would be a very big task. What did this last one need, but was probably too scared to ask? When the child closed his eyes, he had scary thoughts in mind. But when he actually considered the dwarf, he realized he had been nothing but kind. Looking again at the dwarf, he was now cuddling a large teddy bear, and every time he would squeeze it, it would say with love and care, "Though often you will find yourself inside a hurricane, and monsters are attacking and causing loved ones pain, never doubt the course you're steering. Keep on the one you've planned, because you are not traveling alone toward a brighter land. Remember you are not alone, and people will always be there to fight. Even though you steer the ship, we'll man it till daylight." "I think that's us finished," whispered the jolly gnome. The child yawned, exhausted. "And now it's time for home." Placing the child in bed, the gnome spoke. "We made quite the team." But the child was already sleeping soundly, experiencing a peaceful dream. The gnome was about to leave, but said, "Oh wait, there was a plot I did pass." He waved his wand the last time for the night, leaving a globe of glass. On the horizon, the sun rose, creating an orange glow, and Nisman tipped the globe upside down, causing the weather outside to turn to snow. Finally, it was time for the gnome to now lay down, as the residents wake up and discover their presence in town. All the residents, that is, except for our little two, who were the only ones still snoring, whilst activity in the city grew. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story. I know it was anything but short, but I just wanted to share the tale of the gnome and his cohort.